In this video, I'm going to cover breastfeeding when baby has a cold. I'm going to throw in a little bit of information to help you if you're sick too, but I really want to focus on how to help baby to be able to receive your breast milk even if they're having a hard time breathing right now. Are you ready, Mommy? Let's go.
Be confident and successful in your breastfeeding journey.
If you're watching this video right now, then you or your family are probably not feeling really well. Like myself, I'm just getting over a cold, so I sound a little stuffy still. I want you to know that your breast milk is like medicine. It is amazing. So if baby is sick and nursing, baby's body will tell your body to make antibodies to help baby to get better faster. If you're coming down with something, then your body will start to make the antibodies in your breast milk, and when you give that to the baby, then hopefully baby won't get sick at all, or at least not as severely. No guarantees, but in general, usually breastfed babies don't get sick as severely or as often. Breast milk is even helpful for the rest of your family. So if they have a cold, you can let your toddler or husband, whoever else around your family, to drink some breast milk if you had extra. One thing I wanted to mention is I hear moms on the internet say that they saved some breast milk from when they were sick and they marked it sick breast milk, so that if somebody gets sick again in the family, then they have that milk to thaw out and give to that person. That's a really great theory and idea, but I just want to tell you that it doesn't work like that. So I don't think you should waste your time. If it's something you want to do, you can. But the reason why I want to make sure you understand that is because if you are pumping breast milk for baby, freshest is best, especially when there's illness going around. When breast milk has been frozen, it really loses a lot of the immunological properties and very quickly. So fresh is always best when possible. When your baby is sick, be sure to keep in touch with your doctor. We really want to watch that what your baby has isn't just a cold. We want to be sure that it's not RSV or anything more serious. So be sure to contact your doctor, and if you have concerns, go to your emergency department right away. Now, if you're sick but baby's not, it still is really a good idea to keep feeding baby from the breast if possible, and if you're comfortable with that. You just want to maybe keep your face covered, or at least not breathe right in baby's face if possible, and keep your hands washed very thoroughly. I've had moms tell me that they've been told to not continue breastfeeding while baby is sick because dairy causes more mucus production, making baby feel worse. But the good news is you are not a cow, so your milk is not dairy. So don't worry about that. Keep breastfeeding baby. Your milk is the best thing for baby. And sometimes moms will be told to give baby Pedialyte when they're sick, and that's not usually recommended for really young babies. Your breast milk has all of the hydration and water in it that baby needs, and it still has nutrients. So when you give Pedialyte, it gives them hydration, but it doesn't have the nutrients. So you're best just to give breast milk. Now, if your doctor suggests Pedialyte, you might say, I'm breastfeeding, it's all right if I just do breast milk still for right now, and follow your doctor's instructions on what they might say, but usually they agree. Yes, breast milk alone would be best instead of doing Pedialyte. Now, if your baby is formula fed, then that's usually a time when we add in some Pedialyte, but that's between you and your doctor, but be sure to have an open conversation with your doctor about whether or not to do that. Now, we really want to watch for baby getting dehydrated. So baby should have 6 or more wet diapers every 24 hours to show you that they're hydrated and they're getting enough to eat. If baby starts to drop much below 6 wet diapers, so if you're seeing 5 or even 4, you really want to get in touch with your doctor because they're getting a little bit dehydrated. If your baby's crying and you don't see tears, they are dehydrated, so you really want to get in touch with the doctor right away. Now, baby may not want to eat very often, but you want to offer the breast as often as possible. When you're sick, you're probably not very hungry, but baby should eat small amounts more often. If they want to stay on the breast nonstop, that's totally fine too, but offer the breast often. If you're a pumping mom, you may see a little decrease in your pumped milk if you're sick and or baby's sick. But just know if it's a little bit less, that's okay, and it might even change color. Quite often it does, and that's because it's a little more condensed. So it's kind of going back sort of like colostrum. It's a smaller amount, but it has higher fat, has more of those antibodies in it, so don't get too stressed out if you see a little bit less milk pumped out during this time. If baby's having a hard time eating while they're nursing, laying on their side can make it harder. I know with me having a cold, if I'm laying down in bed, I feel like I can't breathe. Sometimes you got to prop yourself up or sit upright, or you just really have a hard time breathing, but especially if you're trying to eat. So if baby's on their side and they're really fussing and they're having a hard time breathing and eating at the same time, sit baby upright more. You can be in the same position upright or totally upright and breastfeed baby. Even kind of recline back just a little bit to help baby, and that can help to keep the air passages open a little bit easier. Sometimes they can't even latch at all because the suction when they're latched to the breast can really cause some pain in their ears if they're getting an ear infection. So if you're nursing baby and they're really fussy, change positions. But if baby's just not able to, if they seem like they're really hurting and in pain, you may have to express milk and give it in either a bottle or a cup or a syringe. Like a little medicine cup really can help to feed baby that way. Even a newborn baby can eat with a medicine cup, just a little bit at a time, touching on their bottom lip, or a medicine dropper or syringe to give baby a little bit of milk at a time. It's a lot of work to get milk out of the breast and a lot of suction to pull it out. So if you could get it to them a little faster and a little easier in a different device would be good. If they just can't latch on, if they're hurting too much, having too hard of a time breathing. If you can run a humidifier in your house, that would really help with the congestion too. If you don't have a humidifier, you can put a pot of water on the stove and keep it on a low simmer just to keep some extra moisture in the house. You can also take baby into the bathroom, run a hot shower just to get the bathroom super steamy, and go in there and just hold the baby, or even sit on the edge of the tub and nurse baby. That steam in the bathroom will really help to clear up their sinuses and help them to eat a little easier. Before you latch baby, it would be helpful to clear out their sinuses with a bulb aspirator. And those work really well. Babies don't really like them, but just to suck that snot out. They are a little bit hard to clean, and there's some new things out that can be really helpful that a lot of moms are really loving. And I really like this one. It's the Nose Frida aspirator, and it's a snot sucker. Now it looks really weird and even kind of gross. One part's going to go in your mouth and the other part is going to be held right up against baby's nostril to form a little bit of a suction, not in their nose, but right next to it. And there is a little filter in it, so when you're sucking on your end, it doesn't draw snot up into your mouth. So it is sanitary too. So, and then when you're done, you take it all apart and you throw away the filter and you clean the rest of it to use again another time. So if you are interested in looking at those, I'll put a link in the description. If you buy one, be sure to buy a pack of the extra filters so you have on hand. They even make electric aspirators now, and those are kind of cool. This is one that even plays music while you're doing it, because babies hate the aspirator. So the music is distracting, but you can play music while you're using the old-fashioned bulb syringe or the Nose Frida too. It's a really good distraction for baby while you're trying to suck that snot out. And saline drops are really helpful too to help clear the sinuses. So you could lay baby back and put just a couple of drops of saline in their nose, or I really like the saline mist that it's a little easier to put in their nose. And you want to use the saline just before you use the aspirator to suck any snot out. It just helps to loosen that up a little bit better. I hope your family's feeling better really soon, Mommy, and I hope that some of these suggestions help. Be sure to check in with your doctor if you have any concerns, and if you have any other questions, go ahead and ask me below. Thanks a lot, Mommy. You got this.